Well, guys, if you don't know me, I'm Nick. Alex is flying, so I am hosting tonight's call. Um, Hawk recently brought up a deal for Legends. That's in DC. So we're going to underwrite that first, and then we're going to do some social media Q&A. So what I got planned for tonight. And I kind of keep it interactive. I was given no prompt on how to underwrite this deal, by the way, so I'm going in pretty blind. Um, so we're gonna do this together. Hawk sent me the T12, the OM, and the rent rolls. So I'm gonna go through that first, and I'm gonna pull the whiteboard. So underwrite this together. Can you guys see that? Yes, no, maybe so.
Yeah, we see it.
All right, cool, cool. I don't have Alex's fancy iPad, so bear with me. Share at the same time. I can't. Okay. I'm gonna put the OM in chat so everyone can follow along. So you know where I'm getting this stuff from. But basically, this is a Class A property in Washington, D.C. I believe it's 96 units. And Hawk is usually on these calls, brought it up to Legends. So we're going to be underwriting it tonight. I haven't underwritten that many properties, but if I can do it, you guys can definitely do it. So we're going to go through it. First of all, I got to pull up the T. I'm going to put the T12 in here too. You guys can have this. Never mind. I not do that. Okay. So. All right. There's the T12 too. Okay. So first of all, we have to find some basic numbers in the revenue and the expense. I'm going to try to write on here. Might be a little floppy. Good enough. Yeah, bear with me. My bad handwriting. So you guys pull up the T12. We'll calculate this for the year. To open it real quick. The end of the T12, the total net income, the total revenue is about 3.3 million. And the expenses are 1.4 million. So to find the NOI for the year, just do revenue minus expense. So 3.3 million minus 1.4. So if anyone's doing this with me in the chat, put what the NOI is while I do it. So the NOI is 1.9 million. And that's based off the T12. We can also just like take the average rents, multiply it by the number of units times 12 months times like just a basic occupancy of 90%. So we'll do that too. Because on the T12, what you guys have, but I can't share my screen because I'm using the whiteboard. It's listed as 100% occupancy on the rent rolls. So that's kind of high, and it probably won't always stay like that. So this would be a better gauge of how much we'd make. So on the OM, the average monthly rent is 2,855. My handwriting's bad. It's okay. We multiply that by the number of units, which is 96. So 5 by 96 times 12 months times 90% occupancy. You do that. You get 2.9 million, which is probably a better number than the 3.3 million listed because that's currently that's like the max because that is 100% occupied. And then we subtract that by the 1.4 million and you get an NOI of quick math 1.5 instead of 1.9. So I think for now we'll use this 1.5 million NOI. Let me make that not as 1.5. Everyone comprendo right now. Any questions? Okay, cool. So that's step number 1. Now that we have the NOI, we can calculate we can calculate the purchase price or what we should buy it at. So I did some research, and for Class A multifamily in DC, the cap rate is about 4.5 to 4.85. Or 4.75 to 4.85. So we're just going to use 4.75 as our cap because that's the low end. So 4.75%. So to find the purchase price, you do the NOI divided by the cap rate. So the NOI is 1.5 million. If we want to buy it at a 4.75 cap, then you divide it by 0.0475 because that is 4.75 as a decimal. And when you do that, 1.5 divided by 0.5, you get a purchase price of 0. 31.5 million. So a pretty big deal, I would say. So this hopefully will be our next property we close. As long as all the underwriting works out past what I'm doing, because this is just like basic napkin underwriting, I'm not plugging it into like a spreadsheet or anything. So just to get a gauge on how good the deal is and if it makes sense. If I can underwrite the deal, anyone else could underwrite the deal because I'm only 17. Okay, next. So if we want to buy it at a 4.75 cap, we'd pay 31.5 million for it. Let's just say hypothetically we want to buy it at a 5 cap. Let's try to keep this interactive. So everyone in the chat, if I wanted to buy this property at a 5 cap and the NOI is 1.5 million, how much should I pay for it? The property. So I'll give you guys a hint. It's 1.5 divided by 0.05. 1.5 million. That is. Everyone try it. What do you get? There you
30
go.
million?
30 million. Svella, did you do that in your head? Yes, 30 million is correct. And who else put this in chat? Monica. 30 million. There you go. Yes, the answer is 30 million. Monica, how'd you get 31 million? What's the cap rate? 5%. Hypothetically, we're just using the hypothetical. All right, so how did I get to that? So we already calculated, I looked up the cap rate of DC and it's 4.75 to 4.85. So we're going to stay conservative and say 4.75. So the NOI is 1.5 million. We did the math over here. So this is the NOI, 1.5 million. So you do 1.5 million divided by the cap rate. And since it's a decimal or it's a percentage, you have to convert it to a decimal. Basically just move the decimal over 2 spots. So you do 1.5 million divided by 0.0475. And you get roughly 1.5 million, 1.578, 147. But we round down to 1.5 or at 31.5. Does that make sense? And then we were doing a hypothetical just around if I wanted to buy it at a 5 cap, how much would I have to pay for it? So the NOI is still 1.5 million, but I now want to buy it at 5 cap. So 5% as a decimal is 0.05. Perfect. So, yep, the purchase price is going to be 30 million if I want to buy it at a 5 cap. So now we want to figure out the price per unit. So this is just a hypothetical. So we're not going to use this. We're going to use our purchase price of 31.5 million because that's based off of the numbers we found. That's gonna be our hypothetical purchase price. Now we want to find the price per unit. So to do that, we're going to divide the purchase price by the number of units. So this property is 96 units. My handwriting is awful. So we're going to do 31.5 million divided by 96 units. So everyone in the chat, what are we paying price per unit on this property? And give everyone some time. And it's a 96 unit deal. There you go, Karen. 328,000 is the correct answer. So you're paying roughly $328,125 per unit. Don't ask me if that's good or not. I don't know. I think it's pretty good. But yeah, so you're roughly paying that much per unit. Now, we're gonna do some math with the loan. So we're gonna say we've gotten a loan at a 7% interest rate. We'll just move down a little bit. A 7% interest rate and a 65% LTV. I'll explain what this means. So 7% interest rate is just the current interest rate right now. I looked that up. And a 65% LTV is loan to value. So the value of the property if we're buying it is 31.5 million, which is right here. So that means you can get a loan for 65% of the value of the property. So we can get a loan for 65%. So what is the amount we can get on this loan? So 65% of our purchase price of 31.5 million. How much is the loan of this property going to be? Put it in chat. Yes, Karen, that's right. It's going to be roughly 20.475 million dollars in the loan. And then we're going to have to raise the other amount. So that would be, we are buying 18 units for 1.25, brings 16,000 a month. Where is this deal located? We can do some underwriting on this. What part of Texas? Fair warning, Alex usually hosts this deal. I mean this call, but he is flying, so I am hosting this deal. So we're just underwriting some deals for fun. What is the tenure of the loan? This is a hypothetical loan. I didn't really go in depth of the loan that I was getting. So, but usually, I don't know, they're 10-year fixed rate. Any legends can chime in if you guys know about more about the loans that we get. Okay, cool. We can look at this deal once we finish this one. Try to underwrite it. And we'll see if it works out. If the NOI is 16, brings in 16K a month, 18 units for 1.5 million. We'll check it out in a second. Okay, so we can get a $20.475 million loan at a 65% LTV. So you have to raise roughly the other $10.1 million.
It's 11 million and 25,000.
Yeah, so you have to raise 11 million, probably a little more with closing. So now we want to find the DSCR. So you find the DSCR by NOI divided by the total debt service. Someone have a question? I don't know. That's someone's talking. Okay. All right. DSCR. So the DSCR is the debt service coverage ratio. Debt service coverage ratio. You want your debt service coverage ratio over 1. Because if your debt service coverage ratio is under 1, it means your property can't afford the loan you have, which means you're going to be losing money. I think roughly a good DSCR is about 1.25, but we're going to see what this property's DSCR would be. But just a general rule of thumb is you want a DSCR over 1, because then you'll actually have cash flow. If your DSCR is under 1, it means you're losing money because your NOI can't support the your NOI can't support the loan, and it means you're losing money. You're paying more money on the loan than you're bringing in. So it's a ratio between the NOI and the loan amount. So if our loan amount is 20 million, our loan amount. So we have to do our loan amount. I'm using Alex's underwriting sheet because this is, we're just going to round up to 2.8 for the loan, or 20.8 million for the loan. And to get to get the total amount we're paying on the loan, we need to multiply that by the interest rate, which is 7% plus 1.5% for the principal. So really 8.5% is our interest on the loan. So 20.8 million times 8.5%. Or no, yeah, times 8.5%.
My eyes are burning.
Actually, 1.85%. You have to add 1 to that. I'm on. Were you saying something?
Oh, sorry.
All good, all good. I just do the math. 5% times 20.8 million. So roughly, after is all said and done, it's $22.568 million is the total amount we're paying on the loan, with interest included. So I found that by doing the $20.8 million the loan is times 1.085. 1, just because you're multiplying it by 1 would just be normal. And then you're adding this 0.85 because that is the total interest on the loan is 8.5%, including the principal. So you express 8.5% as a decimal by 0.085. So the total amount we're paying on the loan is 22 million. I'm going to say the term is probably 10 years. So let's see if this works as 10 years, which is 120 months. How much was this NOI? That only comes out to $188,000, which is not a lot of money. And I feel like it should be more than that. Actually, wait. Maybe I'm doing this wrong. If anyone knows, let me know. Maybe I should divide this into loan terms. 28 divided by 16. What if we did 5 years? Okay. Something. Oh, I know why. Makes so much more sense. Because I was doing loans in monthly and the NOI is yearly. So if we did 10 years, the loan amount is 22 million or 20, yeah, 22 million, 22.5 million, basically. Divided by 10 years, which is not enough for sure. So we'll say 20 years. So if this is a 20-year fixed rate, we do the 22.5 million divided by 20 years to find our yearly debt cost. So everyone in chat, how much am I paying per year on the debt if the debt is 22.5 million over a 20-year span? And that 22.5 million is including interest. So how much are my debt payments? And we're doing everything yearly, by the way.
Nick, on 20,475,000, 8.5% yearly is 1,740,375 yearly. Long.
1 point, how much?
1,740,375.
Okay.
That's the interest we're going to be paying with the 1.5 principal added to the 7%. So the total is 8.5%. So 1,740,375 will be the loan payment. And we compare that to the NOI, but that's already higher than the NOI, so it's going to be less than.
And is that over a 20-year period?
If you multiply times 20,
yeah, I did. I did divided by 20. I got 1.1 million as my 1.3, 1.13 million, like Karen got.
Okay, I just did the percentage. 20% out of the 20,475,000.
Yeah, so it would be over 20 years. So you would divide it by 20 years. So our loan is going to be 1.13 million. And if we look at the NOI, it's less than the NOI, which is a good start. Now to calculate the DSCR, we're going to divide the NOI by the loan amount or our debt service, same thing. I'm just going to do DC. Debt service. So our NOI is 1.5 million divided by 1.13 million, which is our loan amount. So everyone in chat, what is our DSCR?
It's 1.36 round up. 1.36.
Everyone's so fast. Hold on. I'm trying. Let me confirm.
I just rounded up 1.5 divided to 1.1.
Yeah, all right. So I got our DSCR as 1.33, which is what Karen got. And Svella, you're basically the same there. So our DSCR.
I just rounded up.
DSCR R is 1.33, which is over 1 and in our range of over 1.25, which is a good DSCR. This means great deal. We passed that test too. So once we have our DSCR, we can find what's next on the list? Our free cash flow, which is our NOI minus our debt. So this is the amount of free cash flow or the amount of money we can distribute after our debt, after expenses every year. So find our free cash flow. We'll just call it cash flow. We're going to do our NOI minus our debt, 1.13. And Karen, I'm pretty sure the 0.77 is that something, or is that the free cash flow? When you subtract 1.5 million minus 1.1.
370,000.
Yes, I got 370,000. Now, this would be with no changes, but this property is pretty new. It was built in 2016. If anyone sees the OM, it's a Class A. So there's not really any renovations you can do because, I mean, the property is really nice. I was looking at the OM, and it's in a really nice location. It passes all of the tests. It's got a DSCR of 1.33, which is over 1 with our hypothetical loan. 328,000 per unit. And yeah, I would say it's a pretty good deal. So if anyone has any questions about underwriting or about this deal, or how we got any of these numbers, let me know and I can try to answer them. I may not be as good as Alex. I think I could take some basic questions.
Nick, it's Monica. I need to back up a little bit.
right.
Just towards
Let's
the
back
end,
up.
just over the 20-year fixed rate.
Uh-huh.
There was a number that you were using. Was it the 22.5 million?
Yeah, 22.5 million is the loan after the interest. So that would be the total amount we're paying on the loan over the 20 years.
Okay.
So the interest rate is 7%. For some reason, Alex adds 1.5% for principal. If that is how it works, I have no idea, but that's what he does.
Okay. Cool.
So the technical interest rate is 8.5%. But you don't just multiply the loan amount, which is 20.4 million, times the 8.5%, because that'll get you a very small number. So you have to do 1.085.
Okay.
That should get you the 22.5 million. And then you divide that by 20 years to get the yearly debt payment. Let me know if I was going too fast.
Yearly debt payment. Okay. I was trying to write notes. So I have 1.1, well, 1,125,000. What did you guys have?
Yeah, 1.13. We just ran.
Okay, perfect. Okay, got it. Okay.
So that's our loan. That's our loan payment yearly. It's lower than our NOI, which means the DSCR is over 1, which means we're making money and not losing money. Because with Class A's, there isn't much of like renovating properties and renovating units and making it nicer. Because this was literally built like 6-7 years ago. I mean, I would say they're very nice.
Cool.
So I think Hawk found a pretty good deal. Does anyone else have any questions about this deal? Cypher, we can look at your deal too. I can't provide any expert analysis, but we can try underwriting it. Anyone else got it?
Hawk needs to negotiate 4.5 million. So technically they're selling for 36,000. We're underwriting it at 31.5 million, which is good. So that negotiation needs to happen. Yeah. 4.5 million.
Does on the OM, does it say the purchase price? I didn't really look. Does it say how much they're asking for on the OM?
Yeah, the asking price is 36 million.
Ah, really?
Yeah.
Okay, guys.
Originally.
All right, yeah. Let's see, for sake of argument, what the NOI would be, or the not the NOI. Let's see what the purchase price would be, or what cap we'd be buying it at if we were buying it at what they were asking. What was it again? 36.5?
36 million, yeah.
Okay, so they're asking.
The cap rate it should be like 4%.
Asking 36.5 million. Okay. Everyone, with everything you know, I'm not going to give you any formulas. If they're asking 36.5 million and the NOI is 1.5 million, what is the cap rate we would be buying this at? Got to use the formula: purchase price equals NOI divided by cap rate. Might have to shift some variables around. So what would be the cap rate? Karen, you're an investment banker, so you got to be good with money, right? That's why you're so much faster than I am. Uh, I don't know why. I'm asking. Yep. So the cap rate would be 4.1%. Because if you've got the decimal 0.041, that'd be 4.1%, which is lower than the market cap rate of DC. So no, we don't want to buy it at 36 million. That will increase our debt payments too. We would have to recalculate the DSCR. Here, might as well do it real quick. Let's see. But you probably don't want to buy it at 36 million. So our loan would be a lot higher. If our loan to value is still 65%, how much is our new loan if we buy at the asking price of 36.5 million? With a 65% LTV. What's our new loan payment? .65. Yep.
23,725,000.
Yep. All right. Yeah. So that's our principal on the loan. It's 32.725 million. We're going to multiply that by our 8.5% interest. That's including principal. So times 1.085. What is going to be our total debt payment, including principal and interest? I also got that, Karen. Or Corinne. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Yep, perfect. Yeah, we round that up. 0.2 million. We can now check our DSCR. Actually, no, we have to divide it by the 20 years. So we get our yearly payment. What's our yearly debt payment? Yep, 1.29 million per year. That still checks out. It's higher than our NOI, just at 1.5 million. So we would still be making about $210,000 a year, which is less than the 370 we calculated. But I think Hawk can still bargain down to what did we say, 31.5 million? But anyway, it's still a good deal, even if it's less of a good deal. We can calculate the DSCR by doing the NOI divided by the yearly debt payments. So what is our new DSCR?
It's 116, so it doesn't meet the DCR. It needs to be 125.
Yeah, so a better DCR. So the DCR is over 1, which means it's still making money, but it could be better. A good DCR would be about 1.25. So, little room for error. Right now, that's the 1.1. DSCR is 1.16. So if we could get the deal down to 31.5 million, to get the DSCR up to 1.33, which passes the 1.25, but both DSCRs are over 1, which means the property is cash flowing and not losing money. So that's a sort of brief underwriting of this deal. It took us about a half hour. If anyone has any other questions on this, Cypher, we can underwrite your deal real quick. See if it's a good deal. So let's take a look. So this is a 18-unit property for 1.25 million. Purchase price, and it has an NOI of 16,000. It probably needs some more information. All right, so if you guys have you gotten a loan for this property yet? The debt payments. And this is in Guyman, Texas. Let me look up the cap rate for this. Because the cap rate is going to be location based. So when we were working with that somewhere in here, that 4.75 cap rate, it was because in DC that is the cap rate. Do you know what class building this is? Assuming it's a B, maybe a C. B. All right, cool. So cap rate. Do you know the interest rate on the loan and the term, and is it fixed or floating rate debt? Okay, 8% fixed. Okay, cool. Okay, so this is apartments or apartmentloanstore.com is where I'm getting these cap rates. Amarillo, Texas. Gonna assume is close to Guyman because that's where I put it in. The cap rate for a multifamily is about a 5 for a class B. So we're gonna underwrite with a 5% cap. 8% fixed. Cool. All right. So let's first find what you guys should be paying for this property at a 5% cap rate. So guys, everyone in chat, at a 5% cap, how much?
3% for 7 years. Now they got a
Okay. I don't know what that was. How much should they be paying for it at a 5% cap? With the NOI is 16,000. Hold on, is the NOI 16,000? Yeah, that seems kind of low. Cypher, is the NOI only 16,000? Just want to confirm. And is that monthly NOI or yearly NOI? Because if it's monthly, we can turn it into yearly. Because if it was, that was, okay. That's why. That's why it's not just, okay. Cool, cool, cool. So we need to recalculate this. Damn, okay. And you're buying this at 1.25 million? So that's a 16,000 a month. So multiply that by 12. The NOI has 192,000, which is super high. Hold on. The 1% rule, I'm pretty sure, is like if your yearly NOI is 1% of the purchase price, it's a good deal or something. I forget. Okay, cool. Let's try that again. So the yearly NOI is 192,000. So 192,000 divided by 0.05, which is the cap. And I'm just gonna check your math, but I'm pretty sure it's right. But it is 3.8 million. Which you're buying this property for 1.25 million, correct? And the NOI is 192,000. Means the NOI is like 15% of the total purchase price. Do you know what your monthly debt payments are on this? 7,000. Or actually, okay, I can turn that into yearly. Okay, so your yearly debt payments is 84,000. If this is an actual deal that you guys are closing on, this is definitely a great deal. So the yearly debt payments are 84,000. So let's calculate the free cash flow. So this is the debt, the yearly debt is 84,000. So what is the free cash flow? The free cash flow is NOI minus your debt service. So 192,000 minus 84. All right. Well, I got the place for you. Alex hosts a call on Thursday called Deal Tank, where investors can pitch deals to get feedback and get investors, or where syndicators can pitch deals to get feedback and also investors. He hosted every week with 2 other panelists. So you can submit your deal, and if you get picked, you can present it on there. So I'll put it in chat, dealtank.tv. You can register for the call there, and also at the bottom, there's a place to submit your deal. So if you want to submit a deal and see if you can raise some capital on that call, get some feedback, for sure. If this looks like a crazy deal, if this is the actual numbers, but everyone calculate the total cash flow of this deal. If the NOI is 192,000, the debt service is 84,000. I would do this in my head, but I don't want to screw it up, so it's my calculator. Well, the answer is 108,000 is the total debt service. If we want to find the DSCR of that, you do the NOI divided by, no, never mind. Yes, you do the NOI divided by the debt. 192 divided by 84. All right, see us, fellow. Have fun on your truck drive. 84. Yeah, this has a DSCR of 2.28. Which is crazy. I'd have to learn more about this deal, but I mean, the numbers themselves, pretty dope. So I would say very good deal right now. Because at a 5 cap, you should be paying almost 4 million for this. So for sure, good deal. So definitely pitch it on Deal Tank. Pretty cool deal. For sure. I'd say so. Okay. So that concludes the underwriting section of this call. Usually this call is a little over an hour. So I will take any other questions. I was gonna do a bunch of stuff on social media, but I actually thought underwriting was pretty cool, and we took a lot more time than I thought. So yeah, for sure, Karen. I did too. I haven't really done this crazy of underwriting on deals before. So thanks for joining us. If anyone has any questions about social media or anything, I'm cool to take some of those too. Any underwriting questions also? George, yes, he is. I will put the link in chat right now, actually. Alex is doing a program. It's $500 for 2 people to join a 12-week multifamily mastery course. Well, he will teach you about multifamily much better than I can, but at least I can provide a foundation. Starting in the next few weeks, if you want to register, the link is in the chat. Highly recommend. It's 12 weeks long, and Alex will take you A to Z every week. Thanks, man. Thanks. I appreciate it. But if anyone has any questions before we wrap up the call, let me know. My headphones just turned off. Let me know, and I'll take anything. Social media, underwriting, real estate. Better with the social media part, but I think I could answer some real estate questions too.
I just want to say great job, Nick. While I'm still
Thank you,
alive.
Svelo. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Glad you guys had a good time. What's the most platforms you can post to at once, Nick? I would say you can post to as many platforms as you want. I'd say short form content is the best content to get you started right now. It's the easiest to produce, and it's also going to gain the most traction, get you the most views and followers. If you want to post manually, just kind of as many platforms as you can post in a day is going to be good, but you can invest in like a social media scheduler. And they can schedule posts on a bunch of different platforms. I would say at least stick to the big ones, like Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube Shorts. But you can also post on Facebook and LinkedIn and all that other jazz. But I would really focus your attention on like one or two platforms most, to really grow those first. Because then once you have a big following on one platform, you can always move it to other ones. But you can post on all the platforms. At least you have like a backlog of content and people can kind of see you everywhere. Hope that answers your question. Perfect. I'm going to be starting a social media Zoom class and then coming weeks. So stay tuned for that. I think it'll be fun. Can all learn together.
Nick, do you have an idea what day you're gonna do that on?
So I believe thing is every good time is taken because everyone has
know.
calls now. So and I also want to be able to do it during school. So I think I will be doing it Sunday,
Mhm.
slightly after Deal Tank or Think Tank.
Ooh, that's good.
So I know it's hard for people that are ACIM, Think Tank, then my social media call kind of thing. But it's gonna be Sunday. And I think I'm gonna say I'm gonna put it out here next Sunday. We'll be starting.
Awesome. I'll be there for sure.
All right, sweet. I will be sending out stuff for sure. I think it'll be fun.
And thank you for underwriting today. Like I write notes through everything and you working it through like it gave me enough time to write stuff down. And the
Yeah.
funny thing, I was like, oh, the dots connect. I can't believe it, something so small, but I was like, oh man, I get it.
There you go.
So I'm slower, but hey, I get it. So awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I know. I used to get so confused with underwriting. I'd be like, "What are you doing, Alex?" So I tried to take it slow.
Yeah, it's just because I'm writing notes. I'm a note taker. And so if I skip something, it ruins the whole damn formula. So
Yeah. It's
so
all math equations. All math equations.
yeah, and it's
Hmm?
pretty easy. So
Yeah. Once you get the formulas down, like you can plug in any number in and you know how to do it. So
mhm.
glad I could help. Glad I could help. All right, sweet. Does anyone have any other questions? If not, come to my call next Sunday. We can talk more about social media. But
Hey Nick, Lance here.
hey.
A couple weeks ago, we had that first quiz.
Yeah.
And there was a six-way tie.
Mhm.
I was wondering if you had reached out to everybody that you were adding to the master class.
Yeah, so we'll probably reach out this week to everyone who won. You guys all get access for free. We're still putting together our roster list. We'll send you guys out all the Zoom details once it's all ready. And Alex picks a final date to start.
Okay.
So that will be coming hopefully this week. I have to talk to him once he's in Florida for him to pick a date. But you all six of you get it for free. Any other questions before we wrap it up? Alrighty. Well, I hope you guys all had a informative time learning about underwriting. And I'm sure we'll hear more about this deal because Alex will talk about it a bunch for sure. So
I know. I can't wait. Thanks,
I
Nick.
know, me too. Thank
That
you,
was
Monica.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun.
I'll be seeing you guys.
Alrighty. I'll see you guys next week. Or I'll see some of you guys on Think Tank, but
Yep.
I'll
Okay.
see you on
Later.
Monday. All right. Thanks, Luis. All right, everyone have a good night. Goodbye.